comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, 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 money.
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar. Ching, ching, bling, bling. Got the chatter. You ain't talking. We're here. Of course. Bowling. Bowling here. Come bowl now. Get your bowling. Who's ready? Bowling.
With Charmin Ultra, less is more. Stainless steel was in
Beats by Dre.
Smoky Mountain memories.
Remember when Bobby Boucher showed up at halftime and the Mud Dogs won the Bourbon Bowl, do you?
Under Armour boys, we protect this house.
Well, I didn't think you had it in you. I'm your huckleberry.
All right. Well, first off, I want to thank you guys for being a part of this committee. It's a little heavy. That's not where we got 3 people in the Big East. We got 1 Big 6, 1 Pac 6. So ACC. Oh, we got 1 SEC. So 1 Pac 6, 1 Big. So everybody but the ACC is shown here. Bummer for them. All right. We will start with. I don't know. Should we start with the big bowl games first, or should we start with the lesser bowl games?
I think we should do top 4 first.
I'm good with that.
Yep.
Well, I think we'll have, like I said, I like the way it looks like. I feel 2 teams are locked for sure: Samuel Jackson University and Telford Tornadoes. Right? They're locked in the top 4 somewhere.
Say that again.
You think
Telford Tornadoes and Samuel Jackson.
I love you too.
Oh, Samurai. Okay.
What do you guys think? Those 2 are at least locked in to be the top 4. We'll figure out seeding after the fact.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure about Telford, you know.
I like it. All right. Now, the next thing would be the next 2 teams. What do you guys think first with those possible other 2 seeds?
Even though they didn't win their conference, I'm for Terry Tate.
Yeah.
I would get on board with that.
Yeah, I mean, they were in the championship game.
I don't think that disqualifies them. I mean, 10-3. Looking at his strength of schedule, I mean, he's got where's that?
All right, hold on. I can hit you up with some numbers here. You want Terry Tate's info?
So Terry Tate
had big wins against SJU and Dynasty. They had losses against Nosinki and Delta Tau is how I kind of looked at big wins, big losses.
Oh, I beat him?
Yeah. But also big set. He did big Samurai.
Yeah.
Okay. And Samurai then, so.
Yeah, they beat. Yeah, so I'm good with Terry Tate. I was gonna definitely have him in the 4, somewhere in the 4 spot as well. Is what I was thinking too. Somewhere in that top 4, whether it be 3 or 4, I don't know. We'll figure that part out here in a second. But so, all in agreement of those 3 people, those 3 teams.
I am, yes.
yeah, I think so.
I think that's
Yes.
good.
All right. So now here's the fun part. Who is going to be the 4th team in these playoffs? Who wants to start the combo?
I'll throw my pick out. I've got Nosinki. They've got quality wins against Land Thieves and Terry Tate. They lost to Samurai and Nova.
Okay.
All right. What about anybody else? Who you guys have? Are you guys thinking them as well?
I'd say the other 2 teams that I was looking at is SCLSU and Land Thieves.
I was
I was
also
looking at Land.
SCLSU.
My
Lanthys had the most points scored out of
Land teams were
everybody.
strong. They just, yeah. And they had a pretty good against at 114. So, I mean,
Yeah.
my issue with Land Thieves is they lost to every ranked opponent. They lost to Nosenki, Dynasty, and Samurai.
And they even lost.
then
And they even lost to the Dragon Slayers.
Yeah.
okay. All right. Then, yeah.
That
But
is a
then you look at Mud Dogs. You got losses to University of Ron Swanson, Vestal Tech, and House of Carr.
right.
Not as bad, but still, kind of bad losses, kind of bad beats.
Yeah.
Yeah, SCLSU. What I noticed, they had wins against Nova and Telford, losses against Vestal and House. The other one, really, I'm thinking about is Nova.
Yeah,
SCLSU too is the defending champ. So, do they get a push to defend their chance?
They didn't even make it into the conference title.
yeah.
No.
Oh, and
Hey.
2 in the division.
I was joking around with Ryan about this earlier, but Nova is a team that I really think should be. I mean, they won a conference.
Well, I guess my question is, how much emphasis are you going to put in out of conference and in conference play? I mean, because looking at the strength of the conferences, I mean, no offense to us being in the Big East, but I mean, other than Delta, we're merely a 500 conference or a 500 below conference.
Right. And Nova went 4-3 non-conference.
Right.
Well, also the power that conference also switched. It used to be the Big East North used to be the power of that conference. Now it's the South.
Yeah, I laid an egg on that one.
Yeah, that swapped this year because last year the Big East North was strong.
So this is where I figured we would get stuck at this fourth slot.
Well, and I don't. Let's see. I've got Land Thieves at 8-4, SCLSU 8-4, No Sankey at 8-4, Nova at 8-5. You're looking at if you're just looking at records, you've got Delta at 8-4. You've got Dynasty at 8-4. I mean,
Well, if you're looking at records, I mean, with all those 8-4s, and then you've got an 8-5 with a conference championship, I think that kind of gives them a bump.
mm-hmm.
I mean, they did have to beat me after losing to me the week prior.
Yeah, lost to Thugs. That's as bad as it gets, really. I don't know if I can let him in on that one.
I mean, there's no doubt there, really. But
Let's see.
I would have said B, but I ain't gonna lie to you. I laid an egg in conference play. I would belly up. I was good out of conference, but then end of the season I fell apart.
I'm kind of stuck with leaning towards SCLSU.
Let me see. Oh, let me look at this.
Yeah, I'd say I'm kind of between SCLSU and maybe Land Thieves, but I just don't think the conference title in a weak conference is as impressive to me as it could be.
ouch.
I mean, they're UCF, man.
Does
They ain't in the show.
Does,
All right,
does
well,
Ryan,
here,
does Ryan work for ESPN?
I'll throw somebody out there. Just because I look at their non-conference play, I don't know what their losses were. If you guys could help, Dynasty.
I can look it up real quick for you here. Give me a sec.
Because their non-conference, they were 6-1.
As far as Dynasty, they beat Land Thieves, they beat Rumblewood, they lost to Terry Tate, and they lost to Telford. As far as ranked teams.
Yeah, I mean, they beat Wildman U, who was in the Pac-6 conference title. They did beat Rumblewood. They lost to the Hillbilly Tar Heels, who at one point could have been a good loss, but I think now it's a bad loss because they kind of just stopped paying attention.
Well, their team's
That's how I
stacked.
feel
They just stopped
about
using it.
Yeah.
That too. Oh, I
So-
he stopped getting scheduled. He stopped getting his lineups.
Well, sure, but I mean, like that doesn't make it a bad loss just because he stopped setting his lineup. His team is stacked. He just, I don't think we should punish someone for that.
Not being active.
No, I mean, definitely he's not getting in. I'm saying I don't think we should punish someone for losing to his team.
To them.
Because his team was pretty good.
They lost 8, so he may have been paying attention then.
Okay.
Yeah, possibly. Who knows? Yeah, I mean, you just look. I mean, I look at like how we had them ranked already. Like Dynasty's ranked 8th. That's why I didn't really consider them.
And
they weren't in their conference title.
What was the highest they ever got?
Ranked 10.
Dynasty was 5th in week 10, and they lost to an unranked team.
Who was number one? Who was number one the most this year? Was it?
I can.
Was it whatchamacallit?
I think you might have been. I think you were. You went like on a 5-week trend in the
I don't
beginning.
think it was me. I was for like 5 weeks, but I don't think it was me.
I think that was the most. I think the next one was 3, and there was a bunch of 1s.
SALSU was up there a couple weeks, I know.
Yeah, I think they were.
Hold on. I got it up here. I know Lanthys was number 1 in the power rankings throughout the entire season.
Which is why I think they deserve a look.
Yeah. That's why I also say, you look at how you can look at what just happened with Alabama.
Delta had 5 weeks at number 1. Terry Tate 3 weeks. SCLSU 2 weeks. Greenville 1. Hillbilly 1. Telford 1.
Oh, see, I thought Terry Tate. I thought somebody had more than me. I was wrong.
No, you went through those first like 6 weeks of the season. You were number 1, and then you started playing the conference.
Then I pooped. Well, actually, Matt Ryan pooped. He couldn't pass the ball.
Yeah, Dynasty was ranked 4th after week 9, and they lost to Telford, and then they were ranked 5th and lost to an unranked. Then they fell down to 9, and they won against an unranked to get to where they are now. They moved up 1 position to 8th. And I think that's the highest they were ever at was 4th. They had 4th there. They were 4th at one point in week 7 when they lost to number 6 Hillbilly. So they've been 4 a couple of times, and each time they get up there, they lose. But they've been pretty much a mainstay through the top 10 by the looks of it on Dynasty's resume.
Yeah, Lanthieves though number 1 power rankings and was 2 in this last ranking.
And their all-play record is 301 and 76. Lanthieves. I'm sorry. Even with their losses, I go back to Lanthieves.
Yeah, I think the team's too strong to keep out.
So Lanthieves are the Bama?
That's
they
what
seem
I
like
think.
Bama.
I like Nova, but I'm going to say I can't with the.
I think you got to put the.
Nova came on. Nova deserved a conference, but he came on late.
Let's see here.
I think if you're putting the 4 best teams in and not looking at conference, then I think you got to go with Lanthieves.
And that's what it should be, right? The 4 best.
Well, I mean, for me, I had Lanthieves at like number 6. Because as far as the top 10 right now, they had the 3 losses. They didn't beat anybody that's ranked. They lost to Nosanki, Dynasty, and Samurai.
And the Dragons.
Yeah.
I want to throw that out there every time you mention Lanthieves and losses. Dragons.
So, I mean, almost everybody else has some quality wins. Lanthieves, I agree, has a great team, but they don't have any quality wins.
Yeah, I mean, Vestal, Ball So Hard, Greenville, Wild. That's all I know quality win-wise.
Wildman was in their championship.
Greenville's quality win. Greenville was ranked high all year.
Yeah, they beat me when I was ranked too.
Yeah.
Who do you have 4 and 5, Robert?
And Lanthieves also finished second behind Samurai. So
Yeah.
For 4, I had No Sankey, and then 5th, I had Nova.
Okay.
And I mean, No Sankey because they beat Land Thieves, they beat Terry Tate.
Mm.
They do have a loss to Samurai and Nova, but right now, for the last ranking, Terry
So are we
Tate.
saying Land Thieves is UCF?
No, we were saying Nova was UCF.
Okay. So who are we? What do we got in again? I got it right.
So Ryan, repeat that. What you were saying about No Sankey.
Well, the 3 teams we have in there are Telford, Samurai, and Terry Tate. Those are those are 3 definitely in there.
Okay.
And we're talking about who? No Sankey,
Yeah.
right? And we're talking about Land Thieves.
Okay.
And I guess Nova. Those are, I guess, the 3. SCLSU we're basically saying is out of it.
I
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
think so.
Here's the thing.
Non-conference 6-1.
The thing about Nova is you talk about quality wins and the rankings and all that. They only beat Delta. That's the only ranked team.
Oh, yeah, they beat me with 1 week. And I think it was their highest. I think it was one of his highest scoring games of the year.
Yeah, it was.
It was only like 130. They only put up 130, I think.
Yeah.
They did beat No Sankey also.
Mm.
Yeah.
They beat the Kabish.
Well, hey, I'm glad I beat them the first time around just to get into the title game.
Week 12, though. I mean, Jesus.
More importantly, they lost to the commish. That's the more important thing.
Yeah, there you go.
That is.
You know what?
I
I'm
mean,
going down the list. I'm looking down this list. I'm sorry, but the rated champ, I kind of got to give it to him. That's the LSU. I'm sorry. That's where I'm going, I think. Hey, look at Clemson got all the love even with 1 loss, man. Even before they won.
Something for saying the reigning champ in there.
They won with 1 loss with team when there was an undefeated Big Ten team. Champs. I mean, it does have a impact, I think.
Let's look here. Let's look at these teams down the stretch who we're still possibly talking about, right? They going into conference play. Big USC. They beat Land Thieves. Then they lost rivalry game to Nova. And then they lost by 0.4 points to Tedzilla. Then they lost to MC State by 3 points. Then they beat Terry Tate by 9. They beat Delta Fu by 0.6. One State by about 16. So, whatever that works for them. SCLSU.
Let's narrow it down to like 2 or 3. Go from there.
Well,
I mean, in all fairness, SCLSU lost to the House of Carr week 12.
I know this doesn't happen often, but I think I agree with Ryan on No Sankey.
That No Sankey's out? Or No Sankey's in?
No Sankey's in. I think I agree with Ryan, and that doesn't happen often.
Did Ryan make a case for him?
I thought he was making the case for Land Thieves and for SCLSU.
I was going to say, I thought I was the one making the case for No Sankey.
Oh, okay, then whoever you are.
I'm right.
That's House of Carr. That's right.
Ryan, what do you think?
I think Ryan's went back to watching wrestling and eating chips.
No, I'm still here. I kind of agree that it's either SCLSU or Land Thieves are better teams. Granted, they did have some losses, but I mean, SCLSU lost to me by like 0.5 points or something, so they could easily be 9-3.
Let me look at what they got here. Beat Tedzilla. They beat Delta Fu. They beat Telford. They lost to Greenville by .2.
Yep.
They beat Dragon. They beat Nova. They then beat Hillbilly. They then beat Quack Attack. Then they lose to Ron Swanson by 60. They by 30. Then they beat the Volunteers, and then they lose to the House of Carr. This is that I think is why they didn't make it. They lost their 2 division games back to back, and that hurt them right away because then I think Vestal or whoever made it in their conference was so far ahead when it came conference record that it didn't matter. So they didn't. That's pretty legit. Just a 2-game slip up.
You're right.
Yeah.
And then a week 12 game that didn't matter. Sorry, Brock.
Didn't matter to them.
That was Lanthys.
That was Mud Dogs, the defending champs. Land Thieves, I'll give you a rundown on their schedule. Let me go to theirs real quick.
That's likely he scored, and he had a decent amount of points average against.
They beat Ball So Hard by 30. They beat MC State by 50.
Whoa.
By 80. They beat Ron Swanson by 40. They beat Gondor by 70. They lost to Nosanki by 28. They lost to Dynasty by 18. They lose to the Dragon Slayers. Oh, that's where. How are they still ranked number 2? Damn, they lose 3 straight.
Because everybody.
They lose to Dragon Slayers by 12. Then they beat Greenville by 40. They lose to Samurai by 30. They beat USC by 20, and then they beat Wildman by 4.
I look at the victories there, man. Holy cow. They killed everybody.
Yeah, they mauled some people.
That's why they're power ranked number 1.
Beat them into the ground.
Yeah, some teams don't even score 80, and they're beating teams by 80.
By 70, 80? I mean, whoa.
Yeah.
How about Land Thieves?
Yeah, I think I might agree with Tim.
Lanthys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't go in thinking Lanthys, but damn, reading all that.
It makes you think, brother.
I don't know. I mean, I'm staying with Nosanki. They beat Lanthys.
Lanthys loses to Nosanki. They do lose to 3 ranked teams.
And Lanthys is by far the strongest team in the power rank, too. I know we don't do much on the power rank, but they are, by far. 82% efficiency, too, which is impressive.
Yeah, given how many points they're scoring.
Man.
Does it have to be unanimous for us to, or do we just vote, or how is it gonna?
Well, no, it'll be a majority. Because there's no way we'll be unanimous. I don't think.
Yeah, well, that's what I was like. If we're trying to get to where we're all going to say one team, we might be here a while.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if you guys want to go with Land Thieves, I understand. They are a monster team. For me, I can't pick them because they did the 3 ranked currently.
Yeah.
They lost Nosanki, Dynasty, and Samurai. So Nosanki beat Land Thieves, so that's why I would.
The Samurai's top. The Samurai probably ranked number 2 though.
I think Samurai's number 1 now.
Yeah,
personally,
I think they might be going in as number 1.
Yeah.
The way I look at it, Samurai goes 1, Telfer goes 2, and then Terry either drops to 4 or 3. That's the only thing I didn't know, if they would drop down to 4 for that loss, or if they just drop down to 3. It would just depend on what matchup we want.
Yeah, I think those 3 that we already have in are the top 3. Whoever's getting this is going for.
Well, I would say if Land Thieves gets in, maybe not have them versus the conference opponent. Right, not versus SAMU.
Right.
Because then it'd be like another conference game. You know what I mean? Let them play like not Alabama versus Georgia, so to speak.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, but you can't rank them above a team that played in a conference championship. I don't think.
Yeah, but would you want? But what if then you could have a all conference championship game?
Oh yeah, that's
That's
true.
happened
Actually,
before.
that's worse. Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
let's have them face in the first one. That's a good point.
Well, I
Drew.
mean, isn't that what could happen this year with Georgia and
Yeah,
Alabama?
it is, but I don't want that.
Yeah, you don't want an SEC championship game. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think most of us are SEC guys, but it's just, you know, I don't want to see Georgia Alabama as a national championship game.
Right.
So we were talking then Samurai versus Land Thieves in a rematch,
And Tate versus Telford.
I like that.
which is probably a rematch. Right? Did you face Telford? No, you never faced Telford.
No,
Terry
I
Tate.
faced Hillbilly twice, but
I
no,
thought you
don't
played him outside of the conference, but you didn't.
No, I had you and Timbo as my rivalry games and such, but I don't think I played Tate.
No.
Yeah, I was his third, I think.
Well, I think there was like 2 random non-conference that I assigned.
Oh, I might have been one of those versus Telford.
No, I think you were assigned one.
Oh, I was. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Did I sign one with Telford?
I'm pretty sure
I
you
don't
did.
think so.
Yeah.
No, I got Brock. I got Gondor. And did I sign Telford? Maybe I did. No,
I think you
I
did.
got Tedzilla, I think.
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, those 4 sound good to me.
All right, so we're liking the matchup of SJU versus the Thieves.
At 1-4.
Telford versus Terry.
Tate.
So we got Telford and Terry Tate in the Smoky Mountain Bowl, and then Samurai Jackson versus Land Thieves in the Bourbon Bowl.
Sounds good.
Yeah, that's how I have it.
I can do this.
Man, when did the Pac-6 turn into the Power Conference?
When we started.
No offense, it's been the SEC and the Big East.
Hey, there's been a Pac-6 person in the championship game each year.
ACC's always put out a big score.
My second year, I did leave the Big East and go to the Pac-6. So if you want to put that technicality in there.
I was in the Pac-6 and left to go to the Big East.
You went to the Pac-6 and then you left to the Big 6, right?
No, me?
No, I
remember I
left
jumped. No, Big East.
I can't remember when you were fat ball. Which
remember how horrible that team was? I took over from me. I moved in to be in the division.
That team was pretty horrible. I'll give them that.
That team was bad.
Yeah, like I was surprised how quickly you turned that thing around.
Speaking of horrible, just to throw this out there, even though we've said everything right now, because I want to definitely get Nova in one of these TCS bowl games.
I want him.
They were 4-9. They were 4-9 last year. Nova.
All I want to say is I wouldn't. I know it's tough to do a division game for that, but I'd love to play him.
We are not doing a divisional bowl game.
Yeah, I know.
We have 26 teams eligible.
Conference.
I mean, I get that Nova turned it around, but I mean, we can't just say, "Oh, he turned it around." Did it? I mean, I turned it around last year, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn, and I didn't get no respect for it. So, I mean, I'm not jumping on that boat.
That's why I'm not voting for. That's why I don't think. I personally think I don't know if Nova's out here. If you are, I'm sorry, but I just don't think they're that good. I think they got lucky and they got a few lucky hot games and they also had a streak of guys not putting up any points.
Yeah, I think they're good for a New Year's Bowl, so to speak, but not in the playoff.
But yeah, we've gone there, right?
Oh, the playoff's done.
We've got our 4
Okay.
teams in there. I'm talking about the other TCS bowls, the Huckleberry
Oh.
Bowl and the Under Armour Bowl.
Okay, so the first 4 are done now? We're going on to the next thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
We got the first 4 done. Telford versus Terry Tate, Samuel Jackson versus Land Thieves. That's marked down. It's booked.
What's
Well,
the
then-
2 TCS bowls again?
That's Under Armour Bowl. Usually it's ranked teams versus each other in those for sure. Like
Yeah, I
next,
guess-
like the basically who was 5, 6, 7, and 8 in a sense.
Yeah, we're looking for the first 4 out now, which would probably be Nosenki, SCLSU, Nova, and I don't know who would the 4th one be.
Let's see who was ranked last before going into this without any. Yeah, Dynasty, who was ranked, who didn't play. Ball so hard, or were they ranked?
I only had
Yeah, Dynasty was
I'll,
ranked.
I'll toot my horn. I was only unranked for 1 week.
Getting one of these, you're not ranked.
What?
Well, you
I don't know.
currently
I
ranked
think,
now, so
I
you're
think
ninth.
Drew. I think Drew has a case. Wait a second
No,
now.
I thought he wasn't ranked. He's 9th.
Oh, okay, yeah. Hey, hold up now.
Yeah.
Because I only was 1 week not ranked, and it was last week. Not the week,
Yeah.
not last week, but 2 weeks ago.
I think those 5 number
I fell
ones
to
say he
11th.
deserves
The lowest I went this year was 11th.
Yeah.
And I can't vote for myself, and I was a voter, so.
Yeah, I had you 1 right out of the gate. I thought your team was strong. It's still strong now. So he could definitely be in one of these bowls.
Well, what happened to me was
So we've got that.
I lost Odell. That hurt.
Yeah, that sucks. I know about injuries. I hear you on that one.
Yeah. Hey, I had some
So we're
injuries.
talking CLSU, Nova, and then we're talking possibly throwing Drew into that one, and then skipping over Dynasty, skipping over Rumblewood.
No, I just put myself out there. Just that. I'm just doing that. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Well, I'll say I like Drew better than Dynasty or Rumblewood, personally, team-wise.
Yeah, I could. Yeah.
You guys don't have.
I even like him better than Nova, and it might just sound like that I've got a bone to pick with Nova, but I'm just not. I'm just not sold here.
Yeah.
It sounds like you got a bone to pick with Nova.
I do.
Delta. All right, so if we're thinking those 4 teams, and Drew doesn't really have a say on who he wants to face in this, I don't think that would be right.
No.
Let's try and look up. Let me see if there's been any matchups this season between any of them. Well, we know Nova. Didn't Nova beat Nosenki already?
Yes. he
Oh no,
did.
no. Nova lost to. Wow. So Nova beat Nosenki. Nova beat Delta Tau and lost to SCLSU. So the 3 teams that are in this one with them, they've played, lost to SCLSU and beat the other 2. Huh. What are those odds?
Yeah, that's.
That's interesting.
Given the amount of people we have, though, it's hard to not get a rematch in some of them.
Yeah, I think definitely in this case we're going to have a rematch somewhere.
How many did you say were bowl eligible?
26 teams are bowl eligible out of 30.
Good
And there's only 18 slots. I think this is the most eligible teams we've ever had. Or at least the hardest decision to try and fill the bowl games with so many, upper echelon, 7-win teams, 8-win teams.
Let me ask this:
Not that many 5 and 5, 500.
Do we have any teams that are bowl eligible that quit setting lineups throughout the season? That we could just knock
I guess
out
it would be
already?
it would be whatever your definition of quitting is. I mean, I feel Hillbilly kind of quit during halfway through the season. Gondor quit for sure. Tedzilla didn't quit.
I think we could omit those easy because if they're not going to set their lineup, they might not set it in the bowl.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's worth money. The bowl games. $10. Even though it's $10. Big SCLSU or Big USC was 5-7, so they're technically eligible. But I mean, when we're talking like 6-7, 8-win teams, you got Wildman U, who was still playing. Greenville was 7-5. I have a feeling he was setting his lineup. State was 6-7. MC State was 6-7. I know they were setting their lineup. Vestal was setting their lineup. They were 7-6.
Yeah, I think
Rumblewood
I think
7-5.
Vestal's one I would definitely put in a bowl because of how many wins they had at the end of the year.
I think I was telling Brock earlier this morning, I don't think a 5-win team is getting into a bowl game unless we put a 5-win team in the toilet bowl or a 6-win team. Like, I don't know like which toilet bowl way we go because there are some bad records for active players. Like Ron Swanson was 3-9 and they're active.
Yeah, I think the toilet bowl, we should have, a team that's active.
Yeah, I agree. Bad teams that are active.
We did that last year.
Yeah, that's what we normally do, even with the money. Even with it money, like Fallon State, They stopped setting their schedule. They stopped setting their 2-10. So I would say Ron Swanson is a toilet bowl game for sure. Or participant, because they have the worst record of activity for sure. And then it would be like, do we want to give a 5-7 a bowl game over a 6-7 or a 6-6 team? Toilet bowl match with them. When we start breaking down some of these other bowl games, we can figure that part out.
The toilet bowl pays out?
Yeah, all of them pay something.
Okay, so then the toilet bowl needs to go to active guys, and even if it is a 6-6 team, go to or 6-7, and so be it, or whatever. 6-6.
Yeah, right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like Ron Swanson was active for sure, so I mean they deserve to be in the toilet bowl for being the best non-active or the best active worst record. And then, like I said, it's just who we decide to face them. But I figure we'll get down. We'll get that nitty gritty once we get the other bowl games figured out.
Yeah.
But to the other TCS ones, this SCLSU, Nosanki, Nova, and Delta. How do we want to flip those around and face? And because I don't think Delta. You beat Terry Tate week 1, so they're not in this thing. Nosanki faced Nova, but didn't face SCLSU or Delta. Yeah, I don't know which way you guys want to go. Hey, what do you guys feel about this matchups?
You got me in there. I'm not voting on this. You guys do what you want.
I mean, if we were trying to at least avoid the conference bowl game, it would definitely be, like Nova versus Nosanki or Nova versus SCLSU.
Yeah. I kind of like SCLSU versus Drew because I think they're the two solidest teams.
Okay.
On paper.
I'm good.
Not
I'm
on
good with
like
that.
what happened during the season.
All right, and then
Nosanki versus Nova.
Okay. We'll let Drew pick this one since he's on here. Drew, do you want Huckleberry or do you want Under Armour?
What was I in last year?
Oh, for crying out loud.
I was in one of them last year.
Let me see what I've got. Let me go back here real quick.
If you want me to defend or whatever, that's all I'm saying. I don't know.
Where were you at? You were in the Bourbon Bowl against Ron Swanson, if this is accurate paper I have written in front of me. I don't know which season that is. But you were in the Bourbon Bowl at one point in time.
Okay.
Which I think was last season.
All right. I don't care. Whatever you guys want to do.
Yeah. Because these flipped over, so now those two are the playoff ones, and now these other ones are the other.
What are the two? Under Armour?
It's Under Armour and Huckleberry. You can be part of Tombstone, or you can be a part of Athletic Wear.
And it'd be me and SCLSU? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Huckleberry. It sounds like SCLSU. Sounds like something Bobby Boucher would say.
All right. So we got Delta versus SCLSU, Nova versus No Sankey.
Hey, I have a question on that.
All right.
So now, I guess maybe I'm incorrect here, but I thought that the conference champion, don't they normally play in one of the TCS games? Obviously not the playoff game because I'm like 7-5 or something. But
oh, this is by the way, this is Vestal talking, guys. He's fighting for his team at the moment. I figured no one knows who this is.
This is Vestal. Yeah.
Okay.
So if I won the SEC, doesn't that mean that I would be in one of the TCS games?
Ooh.
I know majority of the time the TCS games are always the ranked teams.
Yeah, we usually just do the less of the ranked. What we do is, if we feel what we've always done, if I remember right, we try to get conference winners into the top 4 if they're strong enough.
Okay.
All right.
And then if not, we give you and then if not, we get the biggest.
Let me see.
Big bowl games. Not the
because I mean, you are currently ranked 18th going into this week.
Okay.
So,
well,
I think that
I mean, okay, so
I ain't gonna lie. You know what I would do? You know what I like?
Sugar Bowl, the Big Ten, the Pac-12 have tie-ins with the Rose Bowl. So
right.
I don't know. I thought we were trying to be like real life here, and it doesn't matter what the hell you're ranked.
Because we get because the other bowl games, the other bowl games we get fun to where we actually look to where we're going to like the matchups.
I think he makes a good point that we should look in with the rules committee of like having matchups, having the tie-ins. I don't think we have it yet, but it's definitely something we should.
Yeah, like the other bowl games because they're still like New Year's Day bowl games because they're big, but but like didn't we do? We had the conference champion against this, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we haven't had the tie-ins yet.
Last year.
2 bowl games. I know we haven't done that yet. For
we talked
sure.
about it last year.
Yeah, I know we've always focused on making sure that the other TCS games were always ranked other the next 4 out or the first 4 out from being in the playoffs. Was always how that one went.
Okay.
I would say if for any reason if the money factor of this league went up and certain bowl games had more money value to them, because right now everything is $10. I could see that becoming maybe more of a discussion of, hey, if I won my conference, I should be in the bigger money game.
I agree with that.
I can see that happening if the buy-in or the money pit and everything, the money pot goes higher. Then that would make sense because you win money for winning your conference, and then why shouldn't you then represent something higher even if you are not ranked as high? Like I mean I can't.
Bro, but here, remember 2 years ago, East at like 6-7 or 7-6.
Right.
Remember I made that run at the end of the season.
Yeah,
I don't think I got a lower bowl, but I got into a bowl, but a lower bowl.
Yeah, because you just weren't.
I think I beat you. I got lucky. You were like 10-2, and I beat you.
Yeah, don't get me started. But I mean, that could definitely be something we could look into for sure. I wish we could think of doing tie-ins for these other bowl games for sure. And that's definitely something we could probably think about doing in these next years. We can talk in the committee and stuff about trying to figure out which bowl game could tie in with who.
Right.
For sure. And then if money came in.
If you all were, thinking, I mean, I could probably take on any of the top 8 teams at this point in the season.
Oh, your team came on strong at the end too.
Oh yeah, but I fell flat on my face. In fact, I lost 2 crucial games there down the stretch that pretty much screwed me over. So, anyways, just figured I'd throw my 2 cents there.
No, you're good.
You're good, dude.
It's valid.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, no, it's all valid for sure.
Yeah, I actually mentioned Vestal at the start of this thing that I thought he deserved a good bowl based upon his
If
performance.
you're in the rankings committee, you can't.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, definitely I would say I have written down here notes of people who I think definitely deserve being in a bowl game. I feel Wildman deserves it, and MC State deserves a bowl game somewhere in one of these other games for sure. Just with getting into the conference title games and being surprise teams and whatnot should be in there. I've got I got Vestal Tech in my next. I got Ball So Hard being next in there. I got Greenville being in there. Quack Attack and Tedzilla.
I mean, when you
we still
look at MC State at the end of the year, man. They were non-conference 1-6, conference 5-1.
But
yeah, shout out to them. They were on.
That's
my
like
list.
exactly what I did 2 years ago.
yeah. All right. So, we got these next 4 set. So let's keep this bad boy rolling here. Other ranked teams not in a bowl game at this moment is Rumblewood and Dynasty. Is that right? Those are the last 2 that were currently ranked going into this.
Wonder one more.
If my memory serves me right. Because we got
Seems like
Nova.
you could easily throw them in a bowl.
Yeah, so those 2 would definitely be in a bowl game, whether they face each other or not. But
doesn't mean you can just match them up.
I mean, I think they're in the same division.
Big 6.
Oh, are they? Oh.
Yeah, I think they're both, and I think they're in the exact same
See,
conference.
that's what I was going to say. I was going to say against Rumblewood or Dynasty. That's what I wanted to put Vestal Tech up.
Yeah, Dynasty and Rumblewood, they're in the same conference or same division of the conference.
Yeah, I wanted to give Vestal Tech one of those guys.
So I mean, really, I guess the next 2 on the board would be Ball So Hard and Vestal Tech.
I put Vestal because of the conference win.
Yeah, I'd say have Vestal in there.
All right. So who do we like Vestal facing, Dynasty or Rumble?
Well, Vestal lost to Dynasty, so they played.
So Rumble then?
Vestal and Rumble?
Sure.
Closer record.
I like it. Which I mean, we got the Beats by Dre, we got the Stainless Steel, we got the Jacked Up on Mountain Dew Bowl, and then the TSPM Bowl. One of my personal favorites, by the way. How should we throw these 4 teams?
The Jacked Up.
Stainless Steel, which I'm not sure how the hell we came up with that one.
I don't either.
And, that's the old regime on that one. We may have to start renaming some of these bowl games eventually.
Stainless Steel was the last one.
And Beats by Dre. Proud sponsors.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, we got Dynasty, Rumble. So we're thinking Vestal versus Rumble for sure, right? That was the one matchup, but then the other matchup would then be Ball So Hard versus Dynasty.
I think you should change that Stainless Steel Bowl to the Jack Daniels Bowl. Tennessee, man. It's a Tennessee league. It's Tennessee whiskey.
I think Ball So Hard should lose to Greenville, personally. But, I don't want to put myself out there.
Ooh. Well, I was gonna recommend Greenville for one of these anyways. You were ranked a lot. You were ranked a lot for a lot of the year.
Who's this Ball So Hard team that we're talking about? I thought they were renamed the Baby Bronx Bombers.
Oh, we've all forgotten about that.
Yeah.
Thanks for reminding us.
Good stuff.
So yeah, I had Greenville higher than Ball So Hard. So I mean, I was thinking more Dynasty and Greenville, but
I like that. I mean,
I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and talk about myself, but I don't know. I don't know how you guys got on board with Vestal Tech with such bad losses. I mean, I get conference championship, but it doesn't seem like we're putting much emphasis into that.
Yeah, but we need 8 teams for those 4 games.
Well, I mean, Vestal is like a 7-6 record, right?
Yeah.
Be in these next 8 teams.
Or you're going to have
ranking wise.
There's going to be 7-win teams.
Yeah. 7-win team spots comes into play. And these aren't like the TCS ranking. These aren't like ranked up matchups either. There's 2 ranked teams that are going to be in these for sure.
Who do we have? Nova playing No Sankey.
Nova's playing No Sankey.
I'm getting stuff crossed out.
Very good. Which reminds me, I got to put, these are week 13 games. This is week 14. Which order I do these? These are week 14 because we just did week 13. These are 15. This is 16. And Toilet Bowl is 17. All right, anyway. So what are we thinking for these? What were the matchups we're thinking about? We want Greenville against...
Yeah, I think. Well, Greenville.
Dynasty? Is that what you guys were saying?
I like that. 2 strong teams. Yeah.
I can't really say it's me, but I wouldn't mind taking money from Tim.
Hey, man.
Hey, if they want it, give it to them.
Yeah.
Greenville and the Baby Bronx Bombers.
Don't give them the jacked up on Mountain Dew.
I don't know. We really need to give Drew his say on who he wanted to face.
That's true. That's why I think it's up to the other 3 people to.
Okay, well, because if you gave me my choice, I'm gonna tell you right now, I want to know. I want revenge, but that's not my. I told you guys pick.
That would have been an individual game, also again. So
exactly. That's why but that's for revenge. That's it. That's why I wanted.
Which I know we've already put Nova in a bowl game, but to me, if you put 2 conference champions, with Nova and Vestal in there, just to see because we've talked about whether or not the Big East is really a tough conference or not, it kind of gives you an opportunity to check it out.
That's a good point.
Big East would have been better if you said our ex-commish wasn't very active.
We had Big East was basically against Gondor, not active.
Yeah, and when he's active, he's always been.
Yeah, Brian's been. I wouldn't be surprised if he drops after this year.
I got
for him in all the leagues. I wouldn't be shocked. I think he's just staying in them just to stay in them, and that's it.
Huh.
So if you were to ask me who I think is going to be out of this league for next season, I expect him to be out. I expect his son to be out. I expect.
See, I can't call the Big East that week though, because when it comes to the records, there's nobody in the Big East with less than 5 wins. Big Six has one with 1 win. ACC has one with 2 wins. The SEC has one with 3 wins. Has one with 3 wins. So the Big East actually, when you go to the lowest of the teams, is the one with actually there's 5 wins. 2-5-7 teams, an 8-5 and 8-4, a 5-8 and a 7-5.
Yeah. Either way, let's get these bowl games going.
More even than great.
Yeah. All right. So these matchups, what are we thinking? We got Dynasty, Rumble, Ball So Hard, Vestal, Greenville, Wildman.
Baby Bronx Bombers in Greenville.
Marty's won that bad.
I do. Anytime I see Greenville beat me, and I'm in the top 4. So anytime I can give a chance to see Tim lose, I'm all for it.
You better hope I don't lose, because you have Tom Brady too.
Oh, well, that's a good point. But I also have Alex Smith, who went off this week.
Oh God, did he not? And they
Well,
still
I
lost.
think Marty will be playing later, though. He plays a week later or something, right?
Yeah, Marty doesn't play until week 15 or week 15, and then week 16.
Oh, okay. So I get 2 weeks off.
No, it's
Well, you
14.
get week 14. Yeah,
14.
this is week 14. These are the non-TCS games that'll be playing this coming week. Then the TCS bowl games, the 4 of them, the 2 non-playoff and the 2 playoff, play week 15. Championship is
Okay.
week 16, and then the toilet bowl is week 17.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We put the toilet bowl the last week of the season because they deserve not to possibly have their starters.
Gotcha.
But all right, so I mean, how are we feeling ball so hard versus Greenville? Are we really serious about that, or what do you guys think?
I'm fine with it.
For the other 2 that aren't involved, we got Brock, and then I know Marty's really wants it. So then, what are you thinking, Brock?
That one's good.
All right, I feel like maybe we give them the TSPM Bowl.
Sure.
So who we getting the TSPN Bowl to?
Ball so hard and
Balso
Greenville. I'm pretty sure David Rome and Dan Tirico won't mind being the broadcasters for that one.
Balso Greenville. All right.
So then we've still got Rumble, and we still got Dynasty, who need some opponents. I know we were talking about Vestal.
Let's give Vestal one.
Balso and Greenville.
Who's the higher ranked? Rumble.
Yeah, Rumble was 6 and Dynasty was 8.
I say give Vestal the higher rank since they won a conference.
Okay, I like that. So go Vestal versus Dynasty.
That's weird.
Make sure some strange reason they haven't faced each other yet.
They have.
Did they?
Vestal lost to Dynasty.
So revenge game.
How
are we feeling?
I thought we had kind of locked in Rumble and Vestal, and then we came back to it.
Yeah, I think we did.
Did we? I didn't know that. My bad. So Rumble versus Vestal for sure. We're set like that. I feel all right.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good.
We'll give them the. They feel pretty jacked up on Mountain Dew. I feel like that's a good Vestal versus Rumble and the jacked up.
Okay.
We still have Dynasty needs an opponent. We have Wildman. I don't know what really to do with Hillbilly. I know they have a high record.
No, not in
I don't know
one.
what to really to do with them. Yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling. You have Dynasty. You have MC State, Wildman, Quack Attack, and Tedzilla. Those are like those are the next high ranked or high record teams.
I was looking at MC State.
Yeah, the 2 that I had next were MC State or Quack Attack, and I'm really kind of feeling MC State. They came on strong, and kind of a shout out to them. They were the most efficient team in the league.
Those are solid teams.
And I think, and they're working with, and not to put this against the efficiency, but if I remember correctly, that team started with 19 players on their roster.
Yeah, they don't have many, so that kind of goes towards the efficiency. But they beat No Sankey and they beat Terry Tate.
Yeah, I think rewarding the teams that are coming on late helps keep the league from people not participating. So I'm all for that.
Sounds good to me.
All right. And we'll give them the Beats by Dre Bowl. So we got MC State versus Dynasty.
MC State.
I like it. Versus Dynasty. So then we have Quack and Tedzilla are the next 2, record-wise. I don't know if they've faced each other at all this season. Or then we could look to see who else is. Because after those two, then we have Ron Swanson already in the toilet bowl, and then we would need one more team to then face in the toilet bowl, depending on how we wanted to go with who's the next shittiest team.
Thugonomics.
I mean, I did play in the conference game. I did play in the conference.
I kind of like
5
Thugs
wins, boys.
versus
5 and 8. 5 and 8.
I kind of like Thugs versus Carr in the toilet bowl. They're both in here, give them a shout out, and then play for some money.
But
you played once already. This time it's $10.
He beat me
week 1
in the first week again, back-to-back seasons starting off against him, and he beats me.
So he beats you in week 1. Let's see what happens in week 17.
But then poor Ron Swanson then.
Yeah, but I mean, you guys have a similar record. You're both bad teams. You're active. I don't know. I mean,
Bromy, how's Quack Attack and Ron Swanson 2-0 in the division?
They're separate divisions.
I know, but how are they undefeated? They weren't in the championship game?
No, they had worse conference. Or it was either worse conference, I think, is what did it.
Yeah.
Well, Quack Attack was in the championship game. They lost to Vestal.
Okay.
Yeah. No, Quack Attack was in the championship and lost to Vestal.
Oh, I just thought the division-wise. I didn't know. I thought division mattered before conference. Your division record and then the conference record.
No, it's conference first. Divisions was the tiebreaker.
All right. Okay. That's what I was curious about. Okay, my bad.
Yeah. Which I think, if I remember, I don't know, someone's complained about that. I can't remember if that's in TFL. I think that might have been the TFL.
It was TFL.
That was TFL. Because I was one of the people complaining about the division record.
I know. I know you complained about. Yeah. Both you and Drew make the playoffs.
Yeah, because of the division record.
Yeah, you're welcome.
What? Yeah, I got in. I don't know how I did, and I won.
So what about this for the last bowl? Quack Attack and Wild Man U.
Wild Man? I don't ever remember having him up there.
Quack Attack lost to Wild Man U earlier this season. They lost in week 4 to Wild Man U.
What are their overall records?
All right, so I know everybody's like, well, Hillbilly, no, but their non-conference record is 6-1.
But they stopped playing though.
Oh, they did? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
They
we were
basically
saying
stopped playing.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I mean, even though he's like logged in, he hasn't started. Like if you look at who he's been starting, changing his he didn't change out any bye players one week. I think he scored 30 points one week.
Okay, all right. I get
that was when he was ranked 1 too.
And that was when he was ranked 1st, and he did that shit. I was so livid.
He might have even been undefeated. I think it was pretty ridiculous.
Who are we talking about?
Hillbilly.
Oh. Yeah.
He may have been undefeated around then.
Yeah, I think I played him, and I came so close, even with the bye. So, but yeah.
Anyway.
But Quack Attack and Wild Man U are both 6 and 7. They both lost in their conference championships.
Yeah, put them in.
Yeah.
All right. Let them have a rematch.
Sure.
From week 4. I like it. So we got Quack versus Wild Man.
That's a stainless steel.
And the stainless steel. Yeah. And then we got the toilet bowl left. Like I said, we got Ron Swanson. The one thing I wanted to put on this.
I want you in a bowl game, man. You deserve it.
I think Thugs versus Carr is a good game, right? Don't we want to see what this game does? We don't want a thinker.
But then I face him again next year. Hopefully not week 1. I mean, I make the damn schedule for crying out loud, and I did it to me twice in a row.
This time he's going to take some money from you, maybe.
Put him in there. Let's do it.
I've already lost $10 by losing the damn conference. I don't know if I want to lose another $10 by losing the car.
Then don't lose.
Yeah, just don't lose.
Such jerks. Real quick though, I was thinking of maybe renaming the toilet bowl because I think we call it. I can't remember what we call the damn toilet, the thing.
It's the Charmin.
I wanted to take
Extra
another.
soft.
Yeah, and it's sponsored by Movie Prep to help you make the moves when you're taking the shits because you're a shitty team. But I also wanted to like maybe give like a ring, the Champions of Life ring to go with it. Like that's like their trophy.
Oh,
I feel like that might be the next level of it to go with. You know, one little. You know, we already gave an homage to Derek Dooley because he's like the coin flipper. I think now you get Butch Jones in to be some sort of loser involved in it.
Agreed.
Nope. I'm out.
What the movie? You said the movie. Why don't you do like the Depends or something like that?
And then well, because we work in pharmacy and you know it's a drug.
Oh God! Well, Depends are sold in pharmacies too.
He is right about that.
They're outside of the pharmacy.
You got an eye hole full of them, dude.
Yeah. Oh, Derek Dooley hosts it. That's what it is. He hosts it. But I think Champions of Life is like the ring you win for it. A nice Champions of Life ring. And then in 2 years, we'll have something from Mel Tucker. I don't know what we'll call it, but we'll get him in there.
Call it the participant trophy.
Oh, whoa. Mel Tucker is not going to be in there.
That's right. It's gonna be Gruden. What could we do for Gruden? Chucky dolls. People will get. You'll get a Chucky doll in 2 years.
Gruden's not.
Okay, so maybe Chip Kelly. No, he's already at USC. What other loser?
Shiano. Let's just bring back Shiano.
Oh no.
So would that be so is that like a Beats by Dre?
Do we out about that? He's a good college football coach.
That's what I said, but don't get it started.
Dude, what he did at Rutgers is just an absolute. It's unbelievable.
In the group chat, in our wrestling chat with him, it's no good.
Don't get Marty started.
All right, so
yeah.
So the toilet bowl.
Pro coach as a hardcore Buck fan, I'll tell you right now, Shiano is not a pro coach, but God, look how many of his players at Rutgers went pro and had long careers.
Yeah. All right, so toilet bowl. Are we gonna knock? Are we really gonna put me and House of Car against each other?
Lock it in.
I'll make a motion.
I'm in.
I think you're in.
I didn't expect a bowl game, even the shit game.
Well, I wanted to get you into a bowl game. I was gonna say toilet bowl all day long, but it was just I was wondering what your reaction was gonna be. I had you ranked all the way down to 29th at one point, so I think you're deserving.
I should have been 30th, but you know those rabid raccoons just couldn't
because
win
I knew the one guy was inactive. He wasn't setting his schedule.
Yeah.
He wasn't setting his lineup.
All right, well, so let's go over this. We'll verify it real quick here. We got the toilet bowl, University of Thugs versus the House of Carr. We've got Ball So Hard versus the Greenville Green Devils. We got Vestal Tech versus Rumblewood. We got Quack Attack versus Wildman U. The Dynasty. The TCS Bowls, we got Huckleberry Bowl is Delta Tau Chi versus, or however the hell you say it, versus SCLSU. Yeah, I don't care. Versus SCLSU Mud Dogs. We got Under Armour Bowl is Nova. Southeastern Sharks versus No Sankey. And then in the playoffs, we got Telford Tornadoes versus Terry Tate. And the Samurai Jackson University versus Land Thieves.
Does anybody even know what Delta Tau Chi is?
Hopefully they all actually know what it's from, but I know Ryan does at least.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the fraternity from Animal House.
It used to be your picture too.
It's an homage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's an homage to me. But anyone disagree with any of these bowl games?
My boy Belushi.
Nope.
Hall of Fame, fan Hall of Fame of the Rays.
So is the cat.
Doesn't matter.
All right. Anything? Nobody disagrees?
Whose cat was that that took that big poop earlier? That's who we should name the toilet bowl after.
I think.
Yeah, what is the name of the cat? Yeah, that's a good idea.
His name's Chibs.
Chibs? That sounds like a coin. That sounds like honorary coin flipper right there. Chibs.
Yeah, get chips in there somehow.
Fantastic stuff. All right, so let it be known, let it be done, or whatever the heck Greeny says.
Coin flip by Chips, sponsored by Meowmix. Whatever the hell that. Well, I don't even know what kitty litter is called nowadays.
Tidy.
There you go. Whatever.
All right.
Arbor
Well,
Hammer
that's
doesn't work.
Well, then I guess that's that, kids. Any other things we want to discuss? I know we did mention now. I mean, I know not all of us are in the committee, but anything else that we may want to try to discuss during this off season? We'll have one more rankings after all these bowl games are done. So whoever's in the rankings, we'll have that, and then we have one more with the Heisman voting that's going to start up soon. If I get anybody else to damn participate,
I told you I would if you need somebody.
I got 2 people right now.
Well, if you need somebody,
Yeah, if you need somebody, I'll do it too, I guess. I was trying not to be in everything.
It's all right. Participation's needed.
Yeah. I'll be in it if you need another one. That's a chore, though. I'll tell you that one.
It's not a chore.
That one's tough to do.
Heisman takes 15 minutes.
15 minutes? Man, I don't know. It takes me longer
Last
than
year
that.
didn't take long.
I did it last year. It wasn't that bad.
No, we had it done pretty quick last year.
All right, so we have that on the record. Anything else that we want to possibly bring? I know we got the tie-in conferences to bowl games, which I would like to try and get done for next year for sure.
Yeah,
What
I think
else
that's
we got
definitely a good idea.
Yeah.
I
was trying
do
to
that in the rules committee.
Well, yeah, that'll be in the rules committee. That won't be now. That'll be in the rules committee conversation.
I'm suspended from the rules committee right now.
Yeah, for this year. You're lucky you got into this, actually.
I know.
Yeah, bring it up in the rules committee right in the middle of nothing. That's the best time.
I've been good.
I figure maybe around April.
Yeah, that's the perfect time. That's when I figured you'd do it.
We'll do it. I know how much you love fantasy football chatter in the middle of 0 football events.
I'm a big fan of it, yeah. Right when baseball starts, it's a good time to bring that up to me.
I think what I'll do is I'll bring it up the start of the season of baseball right before the Masters starts.
Yeah, perfect timing. Yeah.
All right. Anything else, guys? Any other discussions?
Don't think so.
That toilet bowl.
I don't mind winning $10. I already lost $10.
I didn't know you had $10 on the conference games.
Yeah, you get $10 for the conference also.
I didn't know you did that.
Yeah.
What do you got for the national championship?
I think $20 if you win the national championship.
Okay.
You get $10 for each bowl game, and then I think it's $20 for the. I have it written out somewhere on this thing. Let me look.
I think we should go up just a few bucks after everybody else. Next year,
It's $10 if you win the conference championship. It's $10 if you win a bowl game. $20 if you win the national title. So you can win $40 if you win the whole thing, basically.
What was our buy-in?
$10. So
I'm good.
yeah. All right. Anything else, guys?
Nope.
Nope.
All right. Well, I thank you all for participating in this lovely event. Look forward to whatever else we got going on. Check your emails. Check your texts. Whatever.
Yeah, I got to get a team ready. Ugh.
Yeah, I gotta get these bowl games in now so I can let people know what's going on. Although I probably won't text it now. I'll probably text it around 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's 2 hours after when you complain.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Bye.
We'll get out of here. Thank you.